Hey everyone, Caront here, welcoming you back to Tales of the Abyss. In the last episode, we finished up our little side quest stuff, then traveled around to Belkin and Mount Ronil, searching after what the scorer's issue is, searching after Ash and trying to find some answers. In this episode, we are going to begin by heading into Batical, where, well, hopefully we can find some answers, figure out what the heck is going on.
What's with all the commotion?
Hey, what happened?
They arrested that criminal Mose and brought him in from Doth.
What?
But then he got away. They're closing off the perimeter and starting a citywide search.
Which means that Mose is still somewhere within Batical.
All right, let's search for Mose, too.
Oh great, as though we didn't have enough to worry about already, now we gotta go after him, and my god, Batical looks like crap. Not just with the miasma, but with Skipdraw on too. Ugh. Yuck. Okay, so where, pray tell, do we find Mose? Well, actually, to find him most quickly, we gotta go down to the harbor. But one thing I do want to show you first before we get to that, I got a new tech! Swallow Fury is a really good aerial attack, so I have instituted it in place of Fangblade Rage, which I never really could get used to. Swallow Fury is typically the tech that I would use on my upper attack anyway, and not only that, it is an attack that you can put a green phone slot chamber on, so it will be a second attack from which you can use to steal items from enemies should you need it. There will be one point coming up in the not quite so near future, but the future in which you definitely want to have as many stealing opportunities in the books as you can. Alrighty, so let's see about going down to the harbor and see if we can find ourselves a missing Mose, shall we? I mean, if the guy's trying to escape.
I can't afford to be captured here with Eldrant almost arisen.
Stop! Mose!
Turn yourself into the Order of Lorelei and face the consequences of your crimes.
Please! Those who must atone for their crimes are you fools who would ignore the score! I am right! How can you not understand?
Of course you are, Grand Maestro.
Ah, Dist!
Dist, perhaps I ought to have left you permanently frozen.
Silence, you! You always break your promises! You never play fair! Now, Mose, let's leave this riffraff behind and proceed to Eldrant.
Wait, Dist! The power of the Phone Master shall be mine, here and now!
Perhaps the austere majesty of Eldrant would make a more fitting stage.
I'll reveal my new might to these fools who have lost sight of how the world should be.
In that case, by all means.
Dist, what are you thinking? That art!
Silence! Mose has decided this for himself. You have no right to interfere.
What the hell?
It's just like my eyes. He's strengthening his phonic arts by inscribing a phonic glyph on himself to gather phonons. But that's the phonic glyph to gather the 7th phonon.
But if that's inscribed on someone who can't use the 7th phonon, every phonon in their body would mutate.
And it looks like they already have, but that's just me.
Dist! What have I become?
Your body has simply taken a more suitable form to prevent your 7th phonons from going out of control. Have no fear. Your powers are now truly those of a Phone Master.
Oh, I can feel it surging within me. So this is the power of Yulia. I'm heading straight to Eldred from here. See that you follow shortly.
To think a human could become something so hideous.
When the 7th phonon is implanted in one who cannot use it, his body rejects it, leading to madness.
Mose desired the power of a Phone Master above all else. I'm sure he won't mind. Personally, I'm satisfied to perform experiments regardless of the subject.
So that bastard Mose would become a monster to protect the score.
Speaking of the score, where did that traveler giving illegal readings go?
Perhaps he's moved on to a new city. We should report to the Order about him. And Mose.
That's fine, but who's in charge of the Order of Lorelei these days?
I'm not sure. Perhaps it's grandfather now.
Nobody in Doth has any idea of what's going on. I say we talk to Teodoro.
You're right. Ugh, what's going to happen to the Order?
Well, that is a really good question. And by the way, my God, Mose, you're one ugly son of a gun. Oh, Lord.
Sorry, as long as we're in Batical, I'd like to go see His Majesty.
Oh, you're right. Yes, let's go.
Well, that didn't work. It's not like I can mention this locket in front of Natalia.
Luke, we're leaving now.
Yeah.
Alright, so we've got our next destination. I will see you guys up at the castle.
Actually, I kind of want to meet with His Majesty alone.
My, what's wrong? Is it something we shouldn't know about?
Well, not exactly.
You're such a bad liar. Just tell her.
Guy!
Truth is, Natalia, he's got a letter of a personal nature from Emperor Peony.
But why hide it?
This is highly confidential. His Imperial Majesty is considering making you his bride.
Me? But I've got Luke. And Ash, too, I suppose. Oh, what to do? Natalia, you can't have both. No fair.
Anyway, he asked that the letter get to your father without you knowing.
Now I understand. Very well. I'll be waiting here.
So we get a title out of it. Popular Princess. Let's see. I've been trying to... Okay, yeah. Been trying to get the title or the descriptions in my notes. And Popular Princess cures stone after sitting still for 15 seconds. So, whoop-de-doo, but hey, it's still a title.
Thank you for understanding. Well, Luke, shall we?
Huh? No, but I was going to go alone.
Now, don't be stubborn. Let's go.
Then we're coming too.
Right.
And that sort of got away from him. Yep.
Hold on. Guy, Jade, Annis, fine. Tyr?
I'm sorry, it just kind of happened.
It's that locket you found on Mount Ronil, isn't it?
Yeah. I guess you noticed.
You were standing there staring at some locket you found looking like somebody just died.
He's right. Sometimes one just can't help being curious.
Yep.
Just don't tell Natalia.
What's going on, Luke? I don't see Natalia with you.
Your Majesty, please take a look at this.
This is...
I don't know what Natalia looked like as a baby, so I thought maybe Your Majesty could...
This is Natalia. I'm almost certain of it. Where did you find this?
On Mount Ronil, at the spot where we and the God Generals were caught in that avalanche.
I think I've seen that before. I could have sworn that Largo...
Are you sure? Well, Largo is about the only possible candidate, but...
I hear that Natalia's childhood wet nurse is away on leave. I hear she's now working for Aster in Cassidonia. Try to speak with her.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Do you plan to tell Natalia?
What would Your Majesty have us do?
I don't know. Perhaps it would be best to tell her. But if it is indeed Largo...
We'll report to Your Majesty again once we have a solid answer.
Thank you. Luke, what's with all this Your Majesty business? It's unlike you.
Well, I'm just a replica.
Oh, don't be foolish. You're still a nephew to me.
Yes, sir.
this is quite a surprise. To think that Natalia could be Largo's daughter.
Nothing is sure yet.
But it will be so hard for her if it is true.
So, are we going to Chesedonia? Be careful. Natalia will catch on eventually.
What about that scorer performing illicit readings? How about we tell her we heard the scorer was headed for Chesedonia?
Nice. Natalia should go along with that.
But we're going to have to tell her sometime, right? She'll probably be really hurt.
Yes. It's hard to face one's own blood as an enemy.
Right. And Natalia in particular has a fragile side to her that makes me worry.
Huh, well. Yeah, the game's been kind of pointing to it for a while. And I think of the plot points in this game, honestly, this one's kind of the weakest, in my opinion. Because the whole idea of Natalia being an illicit daughter of King Ingobert just gets introduced suddenly. And then this whole idea that, hey, it ends up being Largo, who is her father, I think gets introduced hastily as well. I really wish they had drawn it out a little bit more, developed it a little bit better, I guess. But, oh well.
Welcome back. So, what did Father have to say?
Oh, he talked about how you had Ash and all.
Ash? So Father is thinking of Ash and me? But then you...
No. I meant he said Ash or me. Either one.
Yeah, don't try, Luke.
More importantly, we heard that traveling scorer has headed to Chesedonia. We're already going in that direction. Let's follow him.
I see. Perhaps he'll move straight on to Malkuth from there. Perhaps we could delay our report to Teodoro until after Chesedonia then.
Sure, of course.
All right. Let's see what we find in Chesedonia.
You're an amazing liar, Colonel. Your smile hasn't budged.
Oh, I assure you, I'm crying on the inside, racked with guilt.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, we know our next destination, to at least appease our worries about Natalia, so yeah, let's go ahead and head down to Chesedonia.
That's quite a crowd over there. Let's take a look.
I suppose if we snuck off now to ask around, Natalia would be pretty mad, huh?
Luke, wait. Something's odd here.
All who desire a reading of the score, follow me. All who come shall have a reading.
And the truth will out. I always have thought this to be a nice touch.
Looks like our lie has become the truth.
Hold it right there. The Order of Lorelei has called a halt to all score readings. That scorer is a fake.
That hurts, Anis. From now on, it won't be the old Order of Lorelei reading the score. The score will be read by the new Order of Lorelei and its glorious leader, Phone Master Mose.
Ion. No, you're...
Sync. So you survived too?
Alright, so we have Legretta, and Arietta, and Sync, and probably maybe Largo. So our count of Oracle Knights that died during the whole "hey, let's kill them all" phase is down to maybe 1, possibly 2. Yeah, this isn't looking good, is it?
There go our last hopes for at least one casualty among the god generals. I imagine it's true then, that Van survived and assimilated Lorelei within himself.
If you know that much, shouldn't you be looking for the jewel a little harder?
You all haven't found it yet either.
If no one finds it, we keep the upper hand.
brazen as ever, I see. Sync, what's this new Order of Lorelei? What do you mean by Phone Master Mose?
Didn't Mose tell you? Our darling little traitor?
I wasn't working for him because I wanted to.
Easy. I'm not carrying that deadweight Mose around for kicks, either. Now, as I was saying before that interruption, all who want score readings, follow me.
Stop right there!
We want to know the score! Yeah, he's right!
But...
Anis, please let me go. You of all people should understand.
Ion.
Don't forget, fighting with me means fighting with Ion.
Bull.
That bastard! How cruel!
Anis, you can't let it get to you. Sync and Ion are completely different people.
She's right. Just like Luke and Ash are different people.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not letting it bother me. I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine!
Anis, don't push yourself too hard.
I'm not pushing anything.
Natalia, would you take Anis to the bazaar or somewhere to cheer her up a bit? The rest of us will go speak to Aster to alert him of the traveling scorer.
Certainly. Anis, let's take a walk.
Damn, you're good, Jade.
Yes, but Anis looked angry at being used as the bait.
Jade will take responsibility for that later. But she was really depressed.
Let's set aside responsibility for the moment and go see Aster.
And it feels inclined to tell us that, well, the two of them have left the party when we just saw them leave the party. Never have been quite sure why the game did this when it's pretty patently obvious that it happens. Oh well, at any rate, well, we answered a question we didn't really expect to answer, didn't we?
I see. We'll pay careful attention to any and all scorers coming through the area.
Please do. With that out of the way, might we?
You'd like to speak with Natalia's nanny, correct? I'll call for her.
Goodness, if it isn't Master Luke.
There's something I'd like to show you.
This was Bodok's.
Bodok?
Meryl's father. He was Sylvia's... my son-in-law.
Could you tell us a little bit about him?
Bodok used to work as a guard for a caravan that traveled across the desert. His closest friends used to call him the Lion of the Desert. He was a big man with a big heart.
Lion of the Desert, the Black Lion. His large stature.
There's little doubt.
So where's this Bodok person now?
I'm afraid I haven't seen him since my daughter Sylvia passed away.
Thank you very much. That's more than enough.
If there's anything else I can do for you, don't hesitate to come by again.
Okay, well, yeah, that pretty much cleared that up. With that, I think we can go ahead and... I keep forgetting there's only one exit to this place, really. With that, we can go ahead and make our way out of here. And of course, we need to go and pick up our lost party members on the way out. Not really anything side questy that you need to do in Chesedonia, so don't worry too much about it. There is a little bit of side questing we can do in a moment, but not quite yet. But for now, hello y'all.
Oh my, that was fast. Did you pass along a warning to Aster?
Yeah, more or less.
Luke, I want a full report later.
I know. I'm sorry.
You're weird. Why should you apologize and not the Colonel?
Phew. I appreciate it, Luke.
What's all this about?
Oh, nothing.
Really? Well, in any case, this new Order of Lorelei business is worrisome.
Let's go talk with Grandfather.
Which means Yulia City, right? Nice! I love that town.
Oh, really? Why?
Phone machines. Phone machines.
There's no need to react like that. Anyway, let's get moving.
And so we get our party members back. Hooray! But since they're my reserve party members anyway, it's not that big a deal at any rate. So, okay. Well, Yulia City's the next destination, so we might as well go ahead and head that way.
I see. The first order of business is to restore the Order of Lorelei. Leave the order to me. I'll pull something together centered around Tritheim. To think that Mose, a paragon of what a Watcher should be, should come to this. It is truly a shame.
Grandfather, Mose mentioned an Eldrent. Do you have any idea what he meant?
The only Eldrent I know is the name of the glorious land of ancient Hispanian legend. I'm afraid I don't know much about Eldrent, but something odd has come up.
Something odd?
There is an overall decline in 7th phonons, but there are spots at which they're being expended at an astonishing rate.
Where?
One is an undersea location near the 6th Sephiroth, but an investigation team found nothing. We're currently in pursuit of a second site now.
Pursuit? How can one pursue a stationary location?
There's no other way to put it. For whatever reason, its position keeps changing.
Could it be some mobile facility? A ship or a carriage?
I don't know. But it would take much more than a ship to expend this many 7th phonons.
Is there no pattern to the movement?
That's currently being looked into. We do know that it's traveling around the ocean.
A giant object traveling the ocean, huh?
The only peacetime application of that many 7th phonons would be Famicry. This is most disturbing.
If you think so, Jade, then it probably is a facility for Famicry.
Let's search the ocean as thoroughly as possible.
And with that, we get our next official destination. But we're actually not going to do that yet. There are a couple of side questy things I want to take care of before we do that. Neither of them are going to be particularly time intensive, so don't worry. But I do want to finish them up before we go to that destination, which is, as it turns out, our next dungeon area, actually. The first area where we're going is, as I go the wrong direction, go me. All right, let's see. The first area we need to go to is actually Grand Kokma, where we will finish up the industrious quest that we have in regards to Jade's phonic site. I believe there's a scene going out of Yulia City, so that's why I'm sitting here sort of yik-yakking a little bit. But if there's not, I'll just go ahead and warp straight there. And, well, I'll pick up... actually, let me go ahead and sail over here first, because this is the island in question. Let's get a scene with this first, and then we'll do the side questing.
Hey, is that island moving?
A floating island? That's physically impossible.
That island, I feel like I've seen it before.
Shall we land and take a look? We may find some clue down there.
It just might be the facility consuming 7th phonons that Grandfather was talking about.
Now, I don't recall if it officially lands us there. I don't think it does. But I believe it does at least put it on the map for us. Let me take a gander here. Okay, dungeon. We've got... Okay, it doesn't technically, but at least you see it there. So we'll travel around and find it a little bit later. First off, I will see you guys actually over in the port area of Grand Kokma so that we can finish up stuff with Jade's phonic site. So I'll see you guys there. You there! You'd better run! You'll be caught in the explosion! The people are in trouble. Let us go to their aid. Wait, Natalia! There she goes! That's our heroic princess! This isn't the time for jokes. If we leave her to her own devices, there's no telling what she'll do. I agree. Let's follow her. Kasim! Yeah, Jade's doofus student is trying to imply phonic sight for himself. Good job, dude. Colonel! He's undergoing phonon separation. Don't tell me it's... Yes, phonic sight, I'm sure, and he's on the verge of losing control of it. It's the same as Moe's. He could have at least done it somewhere where he wouldn't bother anyone else. Is this the time to be making such comments? We have to help him. I don't care what Kasim does to himself, but I agree with avoiding civilian casualties. What should we do? We could eliminate him. It would be the simplest way. How can you say such a thing? We're going to save him and the residents. Natalia's right, Jade. I don't want to kill anyone we don't have to. Tyr, please stop Kasim's phonic instability using phonic hymns. During that time, I'll undo the phonic sight treatment. Roger. Kasim, Colonel, my eyes. Sorry, I accidentally said his name. You attempted to implement the forbidden art of phonic sight using a smattering of knowledge. It requires careful preparation and expertise. It's your own fault that you've lost your vision. No! If this was going to happen, why didn't you try harder to stop me? I did stop you. It was only happenstance that you didn't die. Shut up! If only you'd really tried to stop me. Good job, Luke! You're alive, aren't you? You should be grateful you aren't dead. This man stole a forbidden text from the Imperial Library. May I place him under arrest? Please. I'll take responsibility for him, so after you've finished your interrogation, take him to the Curtis Manor. Colonel! If the Colonel's going to take him in personally, we can't interrogate him too roughly. Shh! The Colonel will hear you! Understood, sir. I'm surprised to see you show that sort of kindness, Jade. I'm just ashamed of my actions. This time, just like Exariuth, if I hadn't wanted to avoid the trouble of giving a long explanation, the results might have been different. But what happened at Exariuth was my fault. I didn't say it wasn't. Right, I know that. Everyone really laid into me after that. I didn't scold you because you destroyed Exariuth. I scolded you for doing nothing but making excuses, showing no sign of wanting to improve or to think. So, because Luke realized his responsibility after that, you've learned to help people like you're doing now, right? Well, I think we've spent enough time chatting here. Let's be on our way. Whoa! The Colonel's embarrassed! That's a rare sight. And we get a title out of that for Jade, Soft Meanie, which, let's see. Increases the effects of items when you use them on save points. So, if you've got healing items that you want to use instead of healing medicine, or healing arts rather, that can help out. You can also restore TP a bit better, which is interesting. Alright, our other side quest destination is over in Doth, actually, where we get to do some playing with monuments. So, I will see you guys over in Doth. What's this monument? It's a pilgrimage monument. The teachings of the Order of Lorelei are inscribed on it. There are 33 of them throughout Pedamia, and visiting all of them in order, starting with the 33rd, is called the Monument Pilgrimage. Huh, have you guys done it before? I have, once, when visiting Doth on state business. I accompanied Madame Suzanne when she went to pray for health. What about you, Jade? I have. Really? I never thought of you as a devout believer, Colonel. The Curtis family is made up of devout believers. After I was adopted, I was sent on a pilgrimage multiple times. So I'm the only one who hasn't, huh? How about doing it now, then? You've got 2 members of the Order of Lorelei with you. Either could be your guide. But a full-fledged pilgrimage takes an awful lot of time, you know. The beginner's pilgrimage of the 5 great monuments would only take a short while, though. Oh, yeah. What do you think? I'll try it. My, this is unusual. So, who will you go with? So, we get our choice. We actually get 3 choices. We can just go by ourselves. But if you want to get a title out of this, your choice is to go with Annis. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll ask Annis. Just leave it to me. I'll give you the most fun monument tour you'll ever have. Huh? I never expected him to pick Annis. That is a surprise. Why? I believe Annis knows more about them than I do. I think it's the right choice. You know, Tyr, acting jealous sometimes is one way of getting ahead in the game. What are you talking about? I don't understand either. Let's just go. I'm babysitting a group of children. Okay, first let's go to the 33rd monument. Please look here. This is the 33rd monument. It is known as the Monument of Beginning. Oh, huh? It's ancient Hispanian. That's correct. Inscribed on the monuments in ancient Hispanian is the history of the world, from the dawn of creation to the birth of the Order of Lorelei. In the beginning was the Void. The Void was the world and life itself. The Void begot sound, and the sound divided. Thus, the world divided into the ancient Promised Land and the memory of the Void. I feel like I've heard this before. It's the same as the beginning of the score roll. So anyway, as you can see, this monument describes the creation of the world, and thus represents beginning and birth. It is popular among young people seeking new encounters and couples who desire children. I see. Maybe it'll help you to get a girlfriend, Luke. You can pick me if you like. You just want my money. Of course. Right. Come on, let's go to the next one. Is this it? Yes. What you see before you now is the second of the 5 great monuments, the 27th monument. On the 7th day after her birth, the daughter Yulia stood and walked upon her own legs. When she took her 7th step, she heard the voice of Lorelei. In that moment, the memory of the Void returned to the world of man. 7 days after she was born? Come on! Luke, this is a legend. Famous people always have legends. If you become the next Duke or King, you'll have people saying you're a hero with the power of Lorelei and stuff too. Huh, you're pretty blunt about this. And thus, this monument represents growth and accomplishment. It is a popular monument among young people seeking to enter schools and mothers with small children. You can skip the lesson. Luke, you may be stupid and ignorant about the world, but it's not like you can't learn. Here's the 18th monument. Yes, this monument is popular among merchants and is the 3rd monument in the 5 great monuments pilgrimage. Lorelei gave unto Yulia the key to read the memory of the Void. The key lent unto Yulia the power of Lorelei. Yulia read a score of 7 parts. That's the 7 phone stones, right? It's the birth of the score that made this world what it is. From this point, it starts talking about the history of the Order. But why is this monument popular with merchants? It's the part about using a tool to accomplish something. Of course, they just like it because it's a nice quote to use to make people buy stuff. You really are being blunt about these. Don't worry, I don't say this stuff on real pilgrimages. Yeah, I guess we should be thankful then. This is the 6th one, huh? The 4th on the pilgrimage to the 5 great monuments. Right, this is the monument of sacrifice. Your betrayal was foretold in the score, so I will not stop you. At Yulia's words, Doth trembled in fear. Oh, I know this part. It's when Doth betrays Yulia. Yes, people come to this monument seeking forgiveness, because it tells that Doth, racked with guilt, took his own life after he saved Yulia. I'm the same as Doth. Annis. But I'm not going to kill myself. If you do something bad, you have to live and make up for it. Yeah, I think so too. I want to keep doing everything I can to atone for as long as I live. When life gets hard and you feel like giving up, please come visit this monument. Ha, yeah, I will. This is the last one, huh? Yeah, on this one, all it says is to live humbly while upholding the score. If we'd have gone to all 33 of them, you'd have heard the teachings in a little more detail. It's okay, this world is going to part ways with the score. If the Order of Lorelei is going to stick around, then I think it'll become a new religion. Yeah, I want it to become a religion like Ion wanted, one that doesn't control people, but saves them and sets them free. And I'm going to make sure that happens personally. How was your first pilgrimage? I'm not sure if I learned anything or not. What does that mean? Boo! I object! Well, yeah, But at the very least, we do get some Annis dialogue out of it, and I believe that got her a title. It should have anyway. Let me check, actually, because it should have gone ahead and conferred that. Let's see. Oh, she already had it. Never mind. Well, mea culpa. The title that she was supposed to get was Grown Up Child, so we already had it. But if you missed out on it the first time, this actually is a second chance to get it, so... Okay, I was a little bit mistaken on that. Mea culpa. But anyway, that wraps up the side quest stuff, what little side quest stuff we had. And next time on Tales of the Abyss, we will consult that floating island for real this time. And that floating island is, like I mentioned, our next dungeon. It is a bit of a windy and a little twisty one, so yeah, should be interesting. So, thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see y'all later.